Hello, my name is Ida, and this is Zambian Cancer Society YouTube channel. So today I just want to share with you something very simple, something that probably most of us have gone through, or the question that we've been asking ourselves. How do you take care of a patient? Or what are the first words you're supposed to say when you visit a patient? Or how do you greet someone who is sick? Like, you can tell that they are really, really sick. Do you say, "How are you?" when you know that they are not fine? So I just have a few tips today that I want to share with you. So first and foremost, when you have a patient, you need to show respect. Okay? Show respect to the patient. Even you can just show respect by making their opinions count. Sometimes as patients they don't really make good opinions, but just if you even if you want to say no in a diplomatic way. Say no in a way that they will not be offended. Okay? So in case they want to eat what they are not supposed to eat, so you can maybe say, okay, for you eat this type of meal later, but you can start with this one instead of yelling at the patient and making them feel bad. And also another thing is, don't sympathize with a patient once you visit a patient. At least empathize. So try and put yourself in their shoes, try and feel their pain, and so maybe you will understand how they are feeling. And stop this habit of showing it to the patient that you are feeling pity for them. And even if the situation or condition is very bad, you don't cry in front of the patient. So even if a patient was had that hope and faith, say, okay, I'm getting better, but when the patient sees the people around them grieving, crying, looking all sad, and that, it even disturbs their healing process, you see, because healing starts from the environment. So once the patient sees that the people around are really worried, they feel sorry for the patient and all that, it disturbs them. So even if you want to cry, cry outside. Leave the patient, go and mourn, go and cry outside, and come back with a smile. And this is also one important thing, showing the patient a smile. A smile goes a long way. So sometimes just look at them and smile. You see, it helps them. And then also, one thing that we should do is relating a patient's condition with someone who is worse than them or someone who is dead. There are people when you tell them, "Oh, okay, I've got this in this type of cancer." They say, "Oh, that cancer killed my grandma. It's the one that killed my..." Like, really? You don't do that. You don't do that. Okay? And you just don't compare someone's condition with someone who is worse. It's like you're telling them, say, okay, even you are going to die eventually, or you're going to be worse than this. And they don't want to hear that. So you don't compare a patient's condition with someone else who is worse than them or who is late. At least you can try and encourage them, say, "Oh, I know someone who had this disease, but they are fine now. They did ABCD, they took the treatment, they accepted, and all that." That helps. Okay? And then also, let patients express themselves freely. Don't speak on behalf of patients. They also have their rights to say how they're feeling. So even if you're a caregiver and then someone comes to visit the patient, and before the patient actually answers how they're feeling, you're already telling them, "No, she's feeling this and that." Let them express themselves. Let them say what they're feeling. Because who feels it knows it. So they know what they're feeling, okay? And then express gratitude. Enable patients to access health care. Don't deprive them the rights of accessing medical care. So there are certain people who would say, okay, because maybe the patient is too sick, and say, this one, let's just keep them at home. Let the patients seek medical care, okay? Whether the condition is worse, whether the condition is better, just help them to get medical attention. And then remind them. One thing you can do also is to remind the patients when it's time for their medication, okay? You can remind them the time they're supposed to take their medication. Ask them what they want to eat. Don't just say, okay, because they're a patient, I think they should eat this and that. Also get their opinion, like I mentioned earlier. And I also got this question. Someone asked to say, Ida, how do you handle a patient who is angry and yelling? So here is a patient, they are angry and yelling. How do you handle that? Because you don't want to yell back at them. You don't want to shout at them. So I think my answer to this question is keep it cool and don't be manipulated by the patient's anger, and never get angry yourself. Try to set limits by saying calm down or stop yelling. Okay, so maintain eye contact with the patient, hold their hand, and just tell them, say, it's okay, it'll be fine, it is well. And then try to understand the situation that caused the anger. And then next time, know how to handle such a situation. Okay, so I think those are just a few things that I wanted to share with you on how to take care of a patient, or what you should do when you visit a patient. Smile, and sometimes just lend a listening ear. Let the patient express themselves. Let them talk. Let them say how they are feeling, and it really helps, because sometimes you just want to share something with someone, and then once a patient shares things with you, learn to keep it. Now, not when they tell you, say, okay, me, I've been diagnosed with this disease, and then you go now everywhere, BBC World News, now you tell everyone. When a patient confides in you, they've trusted you, they've seen something in you, and that's why they have shared with you. Okay, so if you know any tip that people should do as they take care of patients, or what you should do when you visit a patient, please feel free to inbox or to just comment in the comment section. Do share this video and subscribe to the Zambian Cancer Society YouTube channel for more tips like these ones, and let me know what you want to see and what you want to watch on this channel. Let's discuss. Let's talk. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Take care, and remember that we are united against cancer.